Okay, environment's looking good. So a lot of nice textures in there. Not sure the style of this door goes with the look of the rest of it, and you can probably play around with the camera composition. I think this shot's okay. But just think about, where you want to direct the audience's eye and think about using the rule of thirds to compose your images. Um, the animation blocking. So another one here. You have two different animations here, so I'm not exactly clear. That's not really helpful, sliding the character around like a chess piece like that with the feet sliding along. So I would not do that, not try to do that walking part. You could just, if you want, you could just cut from the person standing up to having them behind the counter. You don't have to do the steps. Let's see what you have in your My file. Short recording. Okay, that whole first part is very slow. Where's your controls rig? And this was as I feared. You've animated the main control. I sent you a email message, and I also posted an announcement, and I also sent a video all explaining not to animate the main control. Do not keyframe the main control. When you want to move the character, you're going to move the character using the root control, um, which is this one, which I can't even see right now. Oh, it's right there. Okay. So you'll use this one, although this should be, I think you've moved this one instead. Might just zero those out. Remove those keyframes. Well, there are some. But anyways, I'll just remove it. What you really should be using is this one to move the whole body. And then also you can move the feet. So if you move those, you can move the whole character. Do not animate the main control, because if you do, the feet will never stick. So you should remove the animation off of the main control, because you should not animate that one, because then the feet will never stick to the ground. So don't animate this control. Don't move this and set keyframes on it. You can use it as the starting point of your character, but you can't animate it. That is to say, you can't set a keyframe, move it, and then set another keyframe on it, except for some rare situations. The other things I would, so yeah, this is crazy slow, this whole series of movements. The other thing I would recommend is, at least for this arm, just going to delete this, switching it to IK. Because, for example, if the character has the hand resting on the table, although it's a bit far, but let's just say like that. what you'll get is, really you should have the character closer to the table. And I think this hand a little further in. But what you'll get if you use IK is when the character stands up, you can get it to look like it's, let me start here. You can get it to look like the character is um, pushing off the table, right? So it doesn't, with that hand stuck there, it really looks like the character is pushing up rather than sort of floating up. So I recommend doing the arm, at least for this part in IK. You can animate the IK FK switch. 10 means it's an IK and 0 means it's an FK. So you can switch back to the FK controls if that's easier later in the animation. But when the hand wants to stick to something, IK is the right one to use. So I think you could really redo most of this stuff, just clear it off and do it again, and use the correct controls for things. And I think you'll have a much smoother time, kind of a second round of this, and just really make sure you. I mean, it looks like you're adjusting a lot of the controls, which is good, but make sure you're doing that for every pose. And I think you had some other question that you messaged me. Shrinking the arm when I was trying to move it. Well, I'm guessing you're talking about this elbow issue. And what I would say is, did you reference your file in? Where's the reference editor? No, you didn't. So you were supposed to have referenced your file, your character rig into the scene. I can show you that. I think it's module 11, page 11, I think. Prepare your scene, module 11, page 11. Referencing, reference editor, create reference. So you want to reference your rig in. So please read this and watch the videos for this, so you set up your scene properly as well. So I would just start over with a fresh environment, referencing your rig, and then animate it correctly. And then you would fix the rig on the rig file, not in the combined scene like this. But anyway, since we're here, just kind of reset pose. And okay, and just take a look at this. Alright, so clearly there's, the weighting on the arm has some issues here. Okay, so, whoops. So let's go to the paint weights tool. You can do right mouse click, paint, skin cluster weights. Double click on the tool, we'll get the tool options like here. That will be the right arm. So there's elbow. So we don't want it to do the elbow. That would probably be shoulder part 2. So I'm going to replace that with a value of 1 and flood. It's interesting that that did not affect it. Oh. Elbow. That's kind of hard to select. I don't know, maybe if I use the down arrow. So that's not working. Here, I'll do it like that. There we go. So that, let's start by, um, where are we? Elbow part two. Probably, yeah, flood that to there. Okay. Um, and the next one is that one. Yeah, it's hard to know. Maybe let's try flooding that one too. Okay. And at this point, we want them to start turning with that. So maybe replace the value of 0.5 or something. Flood. Hmm. No. That's not picking what I would expect it to. Boy, this is a mess. Um, just really having it might be easier to actually just rebind this whole surface because doing this row by row, it's just kind of a mess. Let's try that. Let's try rigging skin, unbind skin, and then let's go here and select form joints. Select that surface. Oops. Select form joints. Smooth blending options. Maybe geodesic voxel. Yeah, that's going to be much easier than trying to manually weight them. So I would just do that, just for the shirt. All right. Yeah. So keep going.